That's back at Zephyr Co. We're just here to give you a fun little Spellbook deck profile today. Not competitive, just for fun. Let's get right into it. First off, we play 3 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, also known as Blue Boy. Then we play 2 Priestess. She is a popper and she banishes your spellbooks, which can be pretty important sometimes. 2 Dragon. He's a monster in vanities, pretty powerful against spirals. 3 Bunbuku. He's a spellcaster that searches himself and other magic specters if you want to play other magic specters. And he can't be destroyed by battle or targeted by your opponent's card effects, which is pretty handy, especially against something like a Spiral Sleeper. 1 Magic Spectre Fox, just a Bunbuku target when you run out of Bunbukus, and its attack's a little higher. It's pretty good as a backup card. 3 Secrets. Searches all your spellbooks and can also search your Blue Boy. 3 Master. Copies any spellbook normal spell card in your graveyard. 2 Power. It's really great with Master because you can play a power on something like a Blue Boy and then master your power, and then your Blue Boy will gain 2,000 attack and you get 2 searches. Play 2 Eternity. You want to see it enough, but you don't want to see it too much. It's greater to open it up in your first hand than it is to search it, and 1's just not enough. 2 Starhall. He helps boost things like your Magic Specters and your Jargons. If you go first against something like Spiral and you have a, let's say you usually can get 3 or 4 counters on it, you summon your Jargon. He's already at 700 attack, so it's not easy to attack over him with a quick fix anymore. And if you have those 3 or 4 or 5 counters with your Fox, then you've already got a non-targetable, non-destructible 2,000 beat stick. Then we have 2 Fate. Gets around things like Spiral Resort and Spiral Last Resort because it doesn't target with any of its 3 effects. 1 Spellbook of Life. It's there to get back your Priestess. It's also there to get back your Dragon, and if the off chance of a Pendulum goes to the graveyard, you can bring back one of those too, I guess. 1 Wisdom. It's kind of like a Forbidden Lance, except you only get to choose spells or traps. It's only once per turn, and it has to be a spellcaster. It's great because it's searchable. 1 Spellbook Tower. You don't really need more than 1 if you can search it, and then if it's in the graveyard, you can do something like banish it with Fate and then add it back with Eternity. 1 Crescent, just to open it up. You want to be able to dump as many spell cards into your graveyard as quickly when you want to activate a Fate, and this does just that. And then 1 Rogeki to out problem monsters. 2 Forbidden Chalice for the invoked matchup. Say your opponent activates a Mechaba, you can chain. Make sure your spellbook doesn't get banished, so you can still use it for something like a Fate or a Priestess. And you still get something like the Search or the buff from Power, which also gives you a Search anyway. 2 Mirror Force to out more problem monsters. You really want to make sure your spellcaster can connect with their damage because you're going to be poking a lot, and you want to make sure that they don't die. 2 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. You want to be able to pitch spellbooks from your hand to buff your Fate, and it outs pretty much anything. You can return any spell trap, monster, field. It just does everything you need it to do. 1 Solemn Warning. What deck is good without a Solemn Warning? 1 Compulse to out more problem monsters. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, just there for when you go first and your opponent summons a sleeper. It doesn't target, so and they won't have a Last Resort on it immediately, obviously, because they can't chain it, so their sleeper will be gone immediately. Or you can also do it on something like an agent or a spiral helix, double helix. And finally, we have Magispector Tornado. It's there to search off the Fox. You can chain it to a last resort if they don't have something like a spiral resort on the field already, and get rid of whatever monster that they're trying to equip the last resort to. For example, their sleeper, which is probably what they're going to be trying to equip it to. Anyways, that's it for the video, guys. Like and subscribe. And if you liked any of the cards or if you liked any of the cards, just go to zephyrco.com or look us up on TCG Player. We sell a bunch of cards. We got a lot of these cool cards right here from Zephyrco in general. And that's it.